with a big impact in my life. Of course, she's my mom. Not just because she's my mom, but it's because of how she is, how she handled things in life. You know, my dad was also a military officer, but he's in the medical corps. So, you know, she's always very objective about things. So, and generally very objective about things. When we got married, when my husband and I got married, we stayed in our house for actually 3 years. Medyo matagal. Kasi no one naman is there. So she said she didn't want me to stay at that time. My husband was in PSG. So he said we were gonna get quarters, married officers' quarters in Malacanang. My mom didn't want. So because she said, you know, maraming chismis dyan. So, you know, stay away from these things. So sabi ko naman, sige, fine. So we stayed there. And you know, as they say, diba, it's difficult to have two queens in one home. But you know, it wasn't difficult at all with my mom because she was very objective na. When syempre, minsan nag-aaway kami, she doesn't even ask why or, you know, wala lang. She's just there. Whatever I need, she's just there. And then even with the siblings, she's the more level-headed all the time. With a lot of things. So it's really my mom.
And another question, ma'am. I know the position that you're in right now with regards to, of course, the foundation that you lead is a very tall order. It's a lot of responsibility. When this was presented to you, that you would need to step up and do that role, what did you feel the first time that you experienced it?
Okay, actually, you know, it's not really an obligation. You're automatically the advisor, being the wife of the chief PNP. You're advisor of the Officers Ladies Club. It was a club before. So we just transitioned it into a foundation during my time, you know, because my husband was saying, you know, if you're gonna focus on the PNP personnel, then I'll support you. So, you know, it was a light bulb moment for me, and I was like, yeah, of course. That's what we will do. And you know, why not make it a foundation? And we were having issues in the SEC, so we made it a foundation. What I'm saying is, it's not really an obligation. I can choose not to do anything, actually. But it has happened in the past. So not all the chief MPs have spouses. I'm sure you know the past. There are 2 of them who didn't have. So pag ganun, walang nangyayari. Nothing happens. So, and the Officers Ladies Club at the time, you know, they do charitable work, but you know, it's really up to them what they want to do. You can do churches, you can help children outside and all. So it's really up to you. So me, I chose to focus on the police personnel, just like my husband is doing. What my husband is doing, he wants to make sure he takes care of the welfare of the PNP personnel. His main focus is on medical and legal. So, okay, what was I getting into? My point is, it's not an obligation, but I chose to do it given the platform, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. When he was appointed, it didn't sink in to me right away. Actually, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then when he mentioned that, you know, focus on the PNP personnel, I said, oh, you know, why don't I do that? So you know, my ideas came in already, and you know, and then they said he came up with something like what, with together with some from health service. He said, you know, have something. What can I do when he wants me to join him? Because I don't really join him when he goes around. You know. So sabi niya, what can she do? And then so we came up with this lab virus. It's called Lab and Lessons. It's a lab virus program. So when the original idea was, every time when he goes somewhere and he wants me to go with him for some reason, usually when there's a church that we have built and all, he wants me to join him. So, but there's nothing else really that I'm gonna do. So, and I'm not the type to go if there's really nothing that I'm supposed to do. So they came up with that na, focus on the sick person. And I was like, wait a minute. So why will I wait for a visit, di ba, to a regional office? And that rarely happens anyway. So sabi ko, why don't we just, be proactive about it? So what we did is we visited all the regions, and before doing that, we worked with health service. We identified the critically sick, and then we gave financial assistance and health kits for them. So we went to all the regions. In short, we went around the Philippines. Yeah, all the regions, including the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. That was the last. We weren't gonna go because they said, it's dangerous. But my husband was saying, no, it's not. So and then we got clearance that it's okay to go. So that was the last visit we went to.
Now the campaign is called Lab Virus.
Lab Virus. Lab is an acronym for love and blessings.
Okay.
So it's our tagline is actually spreading love in every touch. So it's reaching out to the critically sick PNP personnel, uniform and non-uniform, and their dependents. So
kailan po ma'am nagsimula yung campaign?
That started sometime in September.
Last year?
Yeah. We started going around. But last year, by December, we have only, or August yata, August we started. And then by December, we have only visited 7 regions. So sabi ko, paano ba to? He's resigning. He's retiring already, Feb 7. So sabi ko, let's just hand it over. Because we have budgeted for it already. We raise our own funds and all. But of course, people donate to us. Because they see what we do already. So, strictly no solicitations for me. So, we raise our funds and also we have budgeted for them. So sabi ko, paano to? Let's just hand it. Parang bigay na lang natin sa mga regional, yung mga advisors of each region. And then my husband goes, no, you go visit them. You have to visit them. Eh, tamang-tama naman. I'm retiring. Because I wanted to retire at the same time as him. But he didn't retire. So we visited. Lagari kami. 1st January, we did all 10 regions. In January, we did 3 regions a week. Lipad kami, balikan, balikan lang usually para mabilis. Or overnight para kung may malapit, like Cagayan de Oro, nag-overnight kami because the next day we went to Davao. So, there. So we
No, you mentioned that the PNP chief is going to retire. What will happen to the campaign after that?
When he retires us, then we've institutionalized everything, actually. It's the mic pala. We have institutionalized everything. It's documented, everything's documented, and I will turn over to whoever's I'll make sure I'll turn over everything to whoever the next advisor will be. Same thing with the set of officers. Ang officers kasi usually 1 year lang. And then it's up to the next advisor. If she wants to have an election again, typically you do have. But some of the advisors, they say, sige kayo na rin ulit, di ba? Kasi you know na what to do. So, it depends if they're gonna be replaced or not. So, and then we're trying to partner with the Quezon City LG. We've partnered with them for the Child Development Center. This is to ensure the sustainability of the teachers. Kasi before, in the past, natigil kasi yan nung pandemic. Prior to that, ang laging issue nila is who's gonna pay for the teachers, kasi it's a project of the Ladies Club. So, now that it's a foundation, I wanted to ensure that the sustainability of it.
Yes.
So we partnered with the Quezon City local government. So sila ang magbibigay ng teachers. We're reopening this March. So yun, sustainable na siya. And then we also plan to partner with other foundations. So hopefully we get to sign up something because we found out, like for instance, or whoever, whatever. There are other foundations that we're looking into. Na they support, they give annual support to foundations like us. So that will at least ensure the sustainability, but at least of a little budget. Kasi usually the problem is the budget. So
is that the reason why that you kind of have to formalize everything?
Yes.
Because previously it was like just a club
It was a club, yeah.
officers, ladies, and you probably didn't have like a set of officers.
They did.
They did.
They have officers. In the past, there were officers. In fact, I was an officer also before. That's why I know how it worked. So, and there were a lot of questions in my mind. But there are a lot of questions in my mind. Like, wait, wala bang turnover to? Wala, there's none. So, wala bang turnover to? Where do we get money? How do we raise funds and all? So, parang, yung mga, in my mind, yung mga, I didn't know that I would be doing the same thing later on as the advisor. So, nung naging advisor ko, in-address ko yung mga issues na yun. Because, it's something that I really felt strongly about. Na. But at that time, as an officer, I was the most junior at the time. So, and I really didn't have much time. I was working.
In the corporate?
So, yeah, I'm in corporate. I'm in the private sector. So medyo, I couldn't, I just followed what they wanted to do. So there. So now that I have the platform to do it,
medyo natuwa ako sa sinabi nyo kanina na you were retiring together at
sana.
So paano po yung next step?
Biglang hindi nag-retire.
Pero paano po yung naging decision ninyo?
No, actually, I really had plans of retiring na. So, but it was a timing at saka yun, sayang naman, so anong gagawin ko? But, and then when he got appointed, things were piling up, ang dami kong ginagawa, and especially I decided to transition into a foundation. So there were so many ideas in my mind already, and it was getting difficult. And so I was thinking, maybe it's the right time to retire na. Because I've had it in my mind in the past couple of years, actually. Hindi ko lang ginagawa. So, ang dami ko rin pending on the personal side, on the business side. Hindi ko siya magawa because I'm working. So, I think this was the trigger na, okay, I think it's about time. Tamang-tama, Romel is retiring. My husband is retiring. So, I didn't want to start 2025 anymore because that's our calendar year, our fiscal year. Calendar year for work. So, sabi ko, end December 31. Anyway, Feb 7 is retiring.
What were like... Of course, that didn't happen yet. But do you think one of the things that made you like decide for that is, of course, aside from the foundation itself, was time for family? And can you tell us how important is that for you?
Oh, that's very important. Number one priority yon for me. Family talaga, especially when you have a husband in the police force. Focus ko talaga family. Kasi, well, we only have one child. So, which actually for me makes it more difficult because walang kapatid na kausap, di ba? So, you have to be there. And for me, he's away. I mean, not even if he's not away, he's away because of the nature of his job. So I'm the one who's focused on the household. Yeah. So it's very important to me. Priority yun. Even him naman, well, but he has public service kasi, diba? So can't take that away from him. But I think he, as much as he can, he prioritizes family also.
Congratulations on your daughter as well. She graduated. How does it feel na meron na
graduated? Because he just graduated. Yes, he graduated from masters in Columbia, for architecture.
That's not the...
She's engaged already?
And then she's engaged. Akala ko that's what you were gonna say.
Happy for her.
Akala ko that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah, she just got engaged in January. So she.
How does it feel for the mom?
I know, we couldn't believe it. My husband's like, my God, she's really getting married. I don't have a baby. Sabi ko, diba? Just a few months ago, he was asking, when are they getting married? Sabi ko, don't ask me, diba? So they're getting married. So as they say, we're gaining a son. Diba? So all's good. I think it's a good. It's a new life really for next year.
Amazing.
I had to tackle first for the Love a Virus project. What are the future plans or development for 2025? Kasi nasa March na tayo, ang dami ng activities from the onset. Chinay ko kasi yung Facebook, nagulat ako. Ganito na pala ka proactive masyado. Kakagulat.
Yes, we read it. Talaga, kakapagod. Pero it feels good because when you see the gratefulness, they're so thankful na the fact na napapansin sila. They're really so thankful. They say, this is the first time it happened and all. So parang nakakataba rin ang puso, no? So I want to continue it, of course, and I want to ensure that it's sustainability. So sabi ko nga, kung mag-turnover kami, it doesn't matter, you can change the name, enhance it, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi I'm sure they have better ideas pa. I mean, di ba? But now we're actually focusing for 2025. We just finished the regions, no? Hopefully, it's just the first round. Hopefully, matuloy siya later on. We're focusing on the NSUs naman, the national. Those are the different divisions, units, support units. Most of them are here in Krame. Some are in Laguna. So dito lang, at least dito na lang. So we'll do that also for them. We'll identify. We've actually asked for a list already from Health Service to identify the critical sick.
What are the first initial reaction ng mga recipients ng lab?
They're very thankful. As in, tuwang-tuwa. Laging nila sinasabi, ako, first time talaga nangyari ito. So, they're very thankful. Although the PNP has support din naman for them. I mean, it, of course, pag kami sakit, meron din, but it's never enough. Even after our help, it's not enough. Ang majority of their sicknesses, even my husband got surprised. Kanya pala kadami ang may sakit na cancer at saka chronic kidney disease. Yung mga nagda-dialysis, ang dami. So, nung it's over 400, almost 500 ang naabutan across the country. That's across the country.
And one of the projects that we noted was some sort of like sustainable soap making.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more
Okay,
about
that one, actually, ang nag-spearhead niyan, it started out in Cebu because the advisor in Cebu, okay, each region would have a regional director, right? And the wife of the regional director automatically is the advisor. Some are active, some are not. So this one, yung sa Cebu, that's her business kasi. So she shared it with the PNTP community. So yung mga dependents ang gumawa sa Cebu. And then now, they moved to NCR. So they're doing the same thing in NCR. So which is nice kasi sabi ko, make it sustainable, supply to the offices and then do a refilling station. And then it's cheaper. Number one, it's cheaper for the offices in the camp. And then it's earnings for them, diba? So sabi ko nga, why don't we, I invited actually them for Women's Month. Kasi mga babae, to do a workshop for the street cleaners here in Krame. Para sila yung gumawa and then supply the offices here in the PNP. I mean, it's a win-win situation. The street cleaners earn. These are most of them have been working here in Namin for years.
And this is a little bit skills based, so you
It's
teach.
very easy, yeah.
Mm.
And it's very easy because I did it eh. They
Mm.
made us do it when we visited Cebu the first time I did it. You just mix it, meron ng kit.
Mhm.
So, my plan is to give them the kits so they can start. May mix mo lang.
Mhm.
And then yung soap, I don't know, I think there's a mold. But most of them are liquid eh. So, liquid detergent, hand soap, body wash.
Mhm.
So, there.
So, who's like the target? Again, these are gonna be the dependents of PNP personnel.
Yung sa Cebu, dependents
Mhm.
ang gumagawa. So, it's their earning. So, it's for their livelihood.
Mhm.
Dito sa Krame, what my plan is, not the dependents, the street cleaners of... So, these are... sa PNP rin, di ba?
Mhm.
So, the street cleaners of the camp. So, they have something to do when they're not cleaning. They don't naman clean all day.
Mhm.
So, when they're not cleaning, they can do that.
On the
So
side.
it's livelihood for them as well. So that's for them. But instead of just giving them money,
Yeah, right.
teach them how to
Fish.
earn. Yeah, teach them how to fish. You don't just feed them, right? So